No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why until the dawn, I can't quit. I'm like Saddam, keeping my eye on Clinton, watching each movie he makes. Cause every slither he takes sort of reminds
the poor black man and woman in America.
Come on.
And the downtrodden on the earth, when we look at it in its perspective, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad,
Yes,
to whom all praises are due forever and ever. And I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the one that he chose, is indeed the exalted Christ, the Mahdi. And I bear witness to the man that I love.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
That when I listen to that man, he brings tears to my eyes, teaching the truth.
Come on.
Who's a fired up soldier, whom I want to be like maybe one of these days. And that's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Jesus Messiah in our midst. In their names, I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
You know, in the Nation of Islam, we say a lot of stuff, and people look at us like Jesus Messiah. But when you read scripture, and our people, they have a lot of Bibles at home, but it's collected, they collect dust.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes,
They don't actually open the book and read the book. You know, in the book Genesis, the 15th chapter, the 13th through the 15th verse, there is an incident that happens with God's friend.
Go ahead.
Come on, brother.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Come on.
You know, and his friend was having this vision at night vision.
Yeah.
And he saw something so horrible that when he woke up, his countenance had changed.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he saw his seed being carried away captive into a strange land among strange people that did strange things.
Come on.
And they were afflicting them for over 400 years.
Yes, sir.
But the God, his friend, gave him comfort. He said, know of a surety that thy seed will be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. But after that time, 400 years, I will come. This is a promise from God. Can God lie?
No, sir.
No, sir.
If God don't lie, then God can't. And there was only one man that recognized him.
That's right.
Everybody was sitting there listening to him teach, you know, and they thought he was a silk salesman. You know, he was so handsome. You know, back in them days, we didn't accept black people.
Right.
So he was a light-skinned, and he told him he was a brother, and he was a light-skinned brother. So you know how it is in the church. We had more women than men, so we had a lot of women in the early days in the nation. And so they was there only because he looked good. He looked good to them, and they can accept him as a man of God. And so they called him Prophet W.D. Farad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But there was only one man that came that recognized him, who he was. And in his mind, he was saying, that's the man that was supposed to come 2,000 years later after Jesus. That's him. That's the second coming.
Go ahead, bro.
And when he got up to go shake the hand, you know how we do, how Brother Herman would do later today, you know, when the guests get here. We want to shake your hand if you stand up.
Right.
Standing up under this kind of teaching makes you bold, gives you juice, gives you power.
Yes, sir.
You know, it lightens up your spirit.
Yes, sir.
And make you want to go, like the messenger used to say, I feel like I can go down the street dragging 2 lions.
That's
You know,
right.
It makes you that strong because now you're waking up to yourself.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Brother Gerald.
so he whispered in his ear, he said, you the one. And Master Farad, according to what we taught, looked around and see if anybody heard that. And nobody heard, and so he whispered in his ear, he said, but who knows that but yourself?
Right.
Be quiet. I'll talk to you about that later.
Yes, sir.
So he found his messenger. He found a man that he could give this word to. You know, and I gotta say, I was reading the account of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said that he thought in 6 months he had all the people.
Yeah.
When I first heard the message, I was like, shit, man, we can get this done quick.
Right.
You know, because we tell them our people that the white man is the devil.
Yes, sir.
And why we've been catching hell all our lives. But when you get out there and get to teaching it, the people are dumb, blind, and deaf.
Yes, sir.
They were not hearing what we were saying. Matter of fact, they showed more love for the white man than they did any black man coming to give them the truth.
That's right.
So the Brother Herman, the student minister today, is going to be teaching on the business of the nation.
Uh-oh.
And so when I came in as a businessman.
Come on.
Because the business was to go get the dead.
Yeah.
It's not opening up a bean pie shop, a chicken shack, a fish, hubbery, or anything like that. Electric shop, construction, none of that. All that comes when you go to the first business, which is the people.
Yeah.
We're in the people business. We're in the people business because we're building a nation.
That's right.
And you cannot have a nation without people. And I like some the things that Brother Jamal was saying about a government.
Yes.
In the scripture it says, for unto us a son is born, and a child is given, and upon his shoulders, look at brother's shoulders, will be a government.
That's right.
Right.
See? Government has a flag. It has laws, rules, and regulations, and a constitution. So when you come in here, you think, oh man, it's just a nation. This is how all nations start.
That's right.
Ask the white man, when they were sitting around in secret, trying not to let the British know what they was trying to do. And once they got enough people to agree that they wanted to go to war with the British, and kick them out of the colonies, then they came into agreement and they wrote a constitution. However, they was wicked because they wasn't thinking about the black man, the Native American, and any other people of color. All they wasn't even thinking about the poor white man.
Right.
It was all rich landowners. They were sitting around talking about we the people, we the landowners. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Right.
That all men are created endowed, and all this kind of crap.
Right.
It was hypocrisy.
Right.
It was hypocrisy. They didn't think of, well, did you hold this truth that all black men are made equal? Because in the first draft of the Constitution, we was 3/5 of a human being.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So you had to put 5 of us together to make a whole.
Get a vote.
Right.
So, I'm saying, we have to be careful. That's why we are told today to study.
Yes, sir.
Because everything that the enemy is doing today, he's a liar. We were taught, that's why the teachers are so important. We are told and taught that he lies before he tells the truth.
Yes, sir.
So when I heard that, I used to sit around and listen to white folks. And if you ever sit in a group of white people, they all start lying.
True that.
If one is talking about their child, Then another one to jump in and talk about their child to make their child look better than the one that they was talking about.
Yeah.
And all of them jump in and you looking around and say, man, these lying crackers. They sitting around lying. And then after you hear it, now you have to be able to discern. And that's what we get when we come into the Nation of Islam. A way to discern the truth. And after you listen for a while, you can say, oh, okay, all that's lying. And here's the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you're looking at these people that rule the world. They go and talk to our people, and the first thing out of their mouth is a lie. Remember now, you have to get into the mind of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and what he taught us. He said they lie before they tell the truth.
Yes.
I don't care what you're dealing with them and how you deal in business, always know that up front, the very first thing out of their mouth is a lie.
Yes.
Then you can get around to the truth. But they lie. And our people don't know that. So all over the planet they lied to us and they made us feel good. They went into Africa. You've been to Africa, brother.
Yes, I have.
They gave the people the Bible. Gave them a white Jesus. Took all the land and the resources. There's a big fight going on in Niger right now.
Yes, sir.
France been in there for, at least 50 years.
Right.
Taking the uranium and the gold. Now, France uses uranium and nuclear power plants to power, their cities for electricity and stuff. But in this year, the people don't have electricity. Matter of fact, they don't even have nice homes. So the young brothers, the minister said the youth would rise up. So the young brothers are coming up and they recognize that and they said, man, France got to go. So the white boy is very arrogant. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he is.
Right.
That's what they said.
He said, they can't rule themselves. We need to rule. Now this is a white man talking. So I'm like, man, if I was there, if I could send my spirit there,
I was there.
my spirit is kill them all. Run them into the sea.
Very good.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we're going to drive them out of everywhere that they are.
That's fine. Let's do it.
We don't even want them to have Europe.
Okay.
But they can have Europe because Europe is going to be a graveyard.
Right.
Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Europe is going to be a graveyard. I love the teachings of the Honorable Elijah.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. That's right.
So we in the business of the people.
Yes, sir.
And so when Brother Herman comes to deliver the lecture, student minister Brother Herman, then pay attention. Because some of us have lost what it is we came to the nation for. And we start questioning, what are we doing, brother? What are they doing in the nation? No, actually, what are you doing in the nation?
Yeah, that's right.
That part.
How many guests have you brought? We put you in the business, but you refuse to do the business. In the business of bringing the lost found, Jesus said you'll find a coin in the fish's mouth.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So if you're not out doing business, then you don't get the coin. So you run around and you want to go back and indenture yourself to be a slave for the Caucasian. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Because if you have wife and family, then you have to take care of your business.
Sir.
That is your second business.
That's right.
So, I don't want to get too far in that because Brother Herman is going to deliver a very profound word today. And so let me say, this is a part of the business of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
When the enemy sees the brothers with this, he's trembling.
Yeah.
He's scared to death. Because he buys one every week. And they go in their think tank and they think about how they can disrupt this newspaper.
Yes.
They're wondering why it's still alive when most of their newspapers are shutting down.
That's
Yes.
right. Right. They are.
See?
Yeah,
I remember when Jamal was here, when Jamal was on post as a student minister, We were out in the streets, and what they did is they sent their people that were selling the Rocky Mountain News. So it was a war.
Yeah. And I was on the corners. They was on the corners.
When we got through at the end of the day, we sold all we had. But the people that they sent to fight left big stacks of them in the medians in the street.
Sure did.
So the enemy tried to pass a law. He used that to pass a law to say that we couldn't be in the medians. They had to rescind that law. But they passed it in order to fight with us. They had to find a way to fight with us. Because we was out there knocking them dead, man. We was in the center of Colfax. We was on Alameda.
Yeah.
You know, we was on all the major thoroughways in Denver. Because the challenge, we had got challenged that, to take 300. So you got to you can't go door to door doing that. You can, but we don't have that kind of black community.
Right.
So we had to get in the thoroughways.
Right.
And the brothers was bold. They was standing there and they'd run out in the middle of the street, in the middle of traffic, and the brother would hunk them down. They'd go there and get some cash. And, and the little Rocky Mountain News people, I went around the city checking it out. And the Rocky Mountain News people, they looked so terrible. They was in raggedy jeans. They looked like bums. And here we stand up here in these crisp, sharp suits.
Yeah.
We look good, faces shining, eyes glowing, and we selling the Final Call newspaper. Or actually, we selling the Final Call newspaper.
That's right.
Giving life to the dead.
And we were doing the business of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
This is how we attract our people. We can't just go to our people and say, come on and join today. Give them something to read.
Right.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's article is in there twice. His article, and then How to Eat to Live. Then the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Then our dear angel brother Jabril.
Yes.
Our sister angel, Mother Tanetta Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, when I open the paper, the first article I read is the messenger, then the minister, then Brother Jabril, then Mother Tanetta. Then I go to the front of the paper and I read it.
Yes, sir.
That's the order I do it. Because I want to know what the divine is saying. And then all reporters and stuff, they report from the divine of what's going on with us and what we need to do. So we got doctors in there now, especially with the COVID and stuff. So as brother comes forward, I asked my son a question, and I didn't think he would answer it like that, but he did. I asked him, I said, what do you think our people need in the Nation of Islam? And he said, what did you say, son?
To accept our own.
There you go, to accept our own.
Wow. Wow.
And I was like, whoa.
From the mouth of babes.
Yeah. So we never know what's going on with our children. So respect your children. And the way you respect your children, you listen to what they say.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Because you never know what Allah is doing with them. So with that being said, let me bring up our brother, student minister Herman Muhammad. I've known this brother over 30 years.
Yes, sir.
And ever since I've known him, he's been a businessman. And he's been a businessman on two fronts. One, in the Nation of Islam with our people, and two, with his personal life and grasping what the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is,
Right.
do for yourself.
Right.
And so I'm very impressed. He puts a little fire under my wings when it comes time for the personal business. I want to keep doing till I get where he's at.
That's right.
And where he's at, he done wrote a book on how to get rich.
That's right. He sure did. And broke it down.
So that makes me think that he may be rich. So with that being said, let me bring our brother student minister Herman Muhammad.
I'm trying to find it, brother. He's reaching out. I know.
Thank you for love. Let's keep it going for Brother Joe. All praise be to Allah. Let's first start by saying, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Of course, as students of religion and citizens of this wonderful planet, we thank Allah for all of his messengers, all of his prophets, all of his great ones, all of the scriptures that they brought. So we thank him for Moses and Aaron and the Israelite prophets and the revelation of the Torah or the Old Testament. We thank him for Jesus and his apostles and the divine revelation of the Injil or the Gospel, the New Testament. We thank Allah for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah of 1400 years ago and the divine revelation of the Holy Quran. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of these worthy servants of his. As students, of course, of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we can never thank Allah enough for his divine intervention in our affairs, for he came to us, of course, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, to whom praise is due forever. He raised a messenger and exalted a Christ in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they both left one, a reminder and the Messiah in our midst in the person of the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it is in their names that we greet you, of course, in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
How's everyone?
Fine, sir.
Oh, praise the due to Allah. I'm so happy to see your beautiful faces this morning. We're gonna have a good time, inshallah, and I believe it is the will of Allah. And we're gonna talk about the nation's business. But of course, before we get into it, we always want to state our intentions. We're not here to make mockery or to entertain, but we're here to edify, to inspire, to educate, to give you something, of course, that you can use. Before we get into it, for all things Nation of Islam, go to NOI.org. For all things Nation of Islam Denver, which is our personal website, and I encourage everyone here and everyone watching via social media to go to noidenver.org and become a member. That's all of our local information. And of course, we never forget, we always got to talk about the latest and the greatest, the biggest and the baddest, blackest, boldest publication on earth, the Final Call newspaper.
That's right.
I mean, when you see a cover like that, now, right?
Yeah.
The will and the warning. So pick that Final Call newspaper up. Our subject, I'm excited about this subject, of course. I'm always excited to talk about business. Is entitled The Nation's Business. The Nation's Business. And of course, we got the God, Master Fard Muhammad, got the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the accomplishments of the Muslims. We got the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and we have the beautiful brothers and sisters of the FOI and the MGT on that photo. Business, I'm always excited to talk about because that was one of the things, of course, that attracted me to the Nation of Islam, was the do for self aspect of the teachings.
Yes, sir.
That just resonated with me, like, and partly because I grew up in a house where my mom and my dad always did for self. And so that part always made sense to me, right? And when we came into the nation, being Muslim followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, one of the first things I noticed was that we didn't look like them Muslims from the East.
Yeah,
right.
go ahead. That's right.
Right?
Right.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they didn't put us in no kufi
Yeah.
or no thobe. They put us in business suits.
That's right.
They didn't put the sisters in the traditional hijab or garments or burqas like you would see in the East. They put them in a very pristine, beautiful uniform that was more business-like.
Yes, sir.
than religious,
Yes,
so to
sir.
speak, right?
Yes, sir.
It's more dressy than you would see compared to the sisters in the East.
Right.
And so, man, that appealed to me. It was, and it was something, of course, that we were missing as a people, because when we were brought here, we were robbed of our
Yes,
culture.
sir. That's right.
Right?
That's
So
right.
we didn't have no culture. Negroes don't know how to dress. They really don't. most brothers, you know, if they don't have a daddy in the house, they don't even know how to wear a suit.
Really?
Don't know how to tie a tie.
Yep.
That's right.
Don't know how to shine their shoes.
Right.
Don't know to wear
A watch.
a watch. Don't wear a belt. They belt don't match their shoes. You know.
Yeah.
But the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they taught us this, right? And so I want to clear some words, of course, because we got to know what we're talking about. Business.
Yes.
Business is either an occupation, profession, or trade, or is a commercial activity which involves providing goods or services in exchange for profits. Profits in business are not necessarily money.
Yeah.
Right.
It can be a benefit in any form which is acknowledged by a business entity involved in a business activity.
Yes, sir.
Now, I love, like I said, talking about business, because it's my opinion that we all should be business people.
That's right.
All of us, every single one of us.
Yes, sir.
And the reason being is because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he even gave us a better definition for business.
Yes, sir.
He said that business is the activity of life.
Yes,
Just think
sir.
about that.
Yes, sir.
Business being the activity of life. We all engage in business every single day.
Every day.
If you go buy a cup of coffee, you just engaged in business.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Sister came and brought some products, some wonderful products, just yesterday. And she was promoting, she ain't even charge us, Brother Gerald. You know what I'm saying? She's promoting.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Asking
sir.
our opinion of and feedback for what she wants to provide. But just that act of promotion, that's business.
Advertisement. Yes, sir.
So we all have to be engaged in business. Now, when we talk about, of course, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I'm gonna put that picture up again, and the accomplishments of the Muslims, the nation of Islam, under the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's leadership in what we call the first dispensation or the first resurrection, was noted for its business.
That's right.
Its business accomplishments, right? So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is given credit for putting black people to work. In fact, the Nation of Islam was once considered the employment office
Employment office. Yes,
of the
sir.
black community.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people, believe it or not, you better believe it though, because I'm telling the truth, didn't join the nation because they necessarily believed.
That's right. That's
That is
right.
So true.
They joined the nation because they knew if they joined the nation, they'd have a job.
Let's get a job.
And a good job.
Right. That is so true.
The nation generated, had grocery stores, had schools, had beauty salons, barbershops. The nation, at one point, owned a bank.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
The
sir.
nation, they bought the most honorable Elijah Muhammad a jet, an airplane.
That's
He's flying
right.
back and forth all over the world.
That's right.
The nation, when the most honorable Elijah Muhammad left, had plans to build a hospital in
Yeah.
Chicago.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
The nation had real estate developments all over the country, in Arizona, of course in Chicago. They had, of course, farmland all over the country. The nation, and I had said one time that the nation was worth 85 million in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
But I was wrong. That was the devil's estimate. 1974, Brother Abbas Rasul stood up in front of the world and said that the revenues for that year had exceeded $50 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
In the 70s.
In the 70s.
Wow.
So we don't know how much the nation was really worth. It was worth hundreds of millions of dollars
Yes, sir.
at the time of the departure of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But like Brother Gerald was saying, all of that is good. And all of that was a powerful demonstration of what the unity of our people can produce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Especially under good and righteous leadership.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, you and I both know that the nation took a fall.
Yes,
And
sir.
all of that property, all of that land, all of that wealth was gone.
Yes, sir.
Just like that.
Yes, sir.
No time. You ever wonder how you waste all that money? I mean, like, for real, how do you in 1972? So the vast majority of the believers, when you think about the history of the nation of Islam, they didn't have what we have.
That's right.
They got that at the very end, if they got it at all.
That's right.
They would read articles from the Pittsburgh Courier, from other publications that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's articles were put in. They didn't have the advent of the internet or satellite where they could beam in and see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad whenever he taught, or, you know what I'm saying? They would have to come to a Savior's Day. So they might see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad once a year, if they can make it. Right?
Go ahead.
But now we have all of his materials. We have the study guides. 20, how many of them? 21 or 22? 21 of them, going on 22.
21, yes, sir. Going on 22.
Going on 22.
Yes, sir.
Which, in truth, brothers and sisters, if you've been to the study class, if you open those study guides up, are divine revelation themselves.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, brother.
We got the benefit of the angel, Brother Jabril's writings, Closing
That's right.
the Gap.
Yes.
Is it possible that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is still physically alive? We have so much that we can feed off that helps us to become better people.
That's right.
Yeah.
To occupy
Yeah, go ahead.
this promised land that God came to establish. Because remember, at the end of the day, family, the business of the nation is about establishing God's kingdom.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes,
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Look
Go ahead.
at point number 12 of what the Muslims believe. We believe that Allah God appeared in the person of Master W. Fard Muhammad, July 1930, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and Mahdi of the Muslims. We believe further and lastly that Allah is God, and beside him there is no God. And he will bring about a universal government of peace wherein we can all live in peace together.
Yes, sir.
So
right.
that is the mission statement of the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
Every business has to have a mission statement.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
Every business has to have a mission statement. Otherwise, what is that business about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See, ours is to establish a universal government of peace, wherein we can all live together in peace. So we all have to take on the principles, the teachings, that which is being taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in order to be a part of that government. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
But here's the other thing, and all praise is due to a lot of families in the building today.
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. The other thing that we have to consider about building our nation, handling the nation's business, is what the root of our business is. Because of course it starts with us. It starts with us as individuals, right? Accepting the teaching and agreeing to live our lives according to the teaching. Right?
Yeah.
That's important. It always starts with self. That's first.
Right.
But after that, what is a nation comprised of?
Go ahead, brother.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says this. He says, there is no success in building the nation without building a family.
Come on.
There is no success in the building of family without the respect and honor for the institution of marriage.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Man, so think about that. Think about that. If there's no success in building the nation, man, without building the family, how successful can our businesses be if it's not comprised of family?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The strongest businesses that you can have, brothers and sisters, is always family business.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come on, brother.
I mean, think about it now. I mean, if we like The Godfather and all them gangster movies, man, everybody family.
They are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unite
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's Nino Brown, CNB, we got. It's all about family.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's the same in the nation of Islam. In order for us to be successful, we gotta have strong families.
Yes, sir.
But getting to the nitty-gritty of it, in order for us to be successful, we gotta have strong marriages. We can't take on this modern thing that's going on
That's
in
right.
2023.
Right. Talk about
Yeah,
it.
go
Talk
ahead.
about it.
I mean, real talk, man.
That's some
Brothers act like, man, we don't need black women.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah, go ahead.
And sisters act like, yeah, we don't need them niggas.
do. They do.
I can do bad all by myself.
That's
Yes,
true.
sir. What they say?
Isn't that the truth?
That's true.
Yes, sir.
Man, look. We need one another.
Yes, sir.
Marriage has to be in the forefront of our mind. If we're not married, we need to be thinking about getting married.
Yes, sir.
Think that over now. Because look,
Sir.
the Quran says it like this. Do I got that? Hold on. Okay.
Come on.
The Quran says it like this.
He.
This is very simple, right? And he creates pairs, male and female. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that men and women are twin halves of a single being.
Think about that.
Think about it. In our journey to being business, we twin halves of a single being. What that means is that he creates the pairs, male and female. If they're twin halves of a single being, then if you a male who don't have a female, you have a being at least.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Right.
You handicapped at best. And it's the same thing with sisters. If you don't have a male, you have a being at least. Because we twin halves.
That's right. Go
But at
ahead.
best, you handicapped. You walking around here, need some therapy.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just keeping it a buck. I have to, because that's what we need in this hour. If we're serious about the nation's business.
That's right.
If we're serious about the nation's business, we have to be serious about family. We have to be serious about marriage. We have to be open to marriage. A lot of young people aren't. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The Holy Quran says this too. We're gonna give you some Quran, so y'all don't think I'm just making stuff up. And of his signs is this, that he created mates for you from yourselves, that you might find quiet of mind in them, and he put between you love and compassion. Surely there are signs in this for a people who reflect.
Oh, come on with it.
Now look at that.
Yes.
That's such a beautiful
Go ahead.
scripture.
Go ahead,
Yes.
brother.
That's
Go ahead.
such a beautiful scripture. And of his signs is this, that he created mates for you. He created mates for you from yourselves.
Go ahead.
Let that marinate.
Yes, sir.
Come on with it.
He created mates for you from yourselves. Again, bearing witness that we twin halves. Allah has put something in her for you, brothers. And Allah has put something in him for you, sisters. But we have to be open enough to find it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
That's a heavy scripture. Surely there are signs in this for a people who reflect. Now, reflect is a very interesting word because it doesn't just mean to share sunlight or share light by reflecting or deflecting light from one surface to another. It actually means to look back into oneself.
Go ahead.
Come on, brother.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. So marriage and family is extremely important, or else, man, we can't build this nation. Gotta say it. The supreme wisdom, which of course y'all are familiar with, helps us to think more mathematically, right? Teaches us to think more mathematically because the devil taught us, of course, to speak spooky. The supreme wisdom talks about how each student must qualify his or herself for positions awaiting them. Now we're talking about business, right? We're still talking about the nation's business because that relationship piece, that marriage piece, that's all about the nation's business.
Yes.
But each student must qualify his or herself for positions awaiting them. Now, when we think about business and getting a job, for instance, we apply, right?
Yes,
for
sir.
a position
Yes, sir.
with the company, and we hope when we submit our application that we're going to be qualified for that particular gig. We get it, and we get the pay that we deserve, right? So, in this labor, because remember, that's what Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi, God himself called us. He called us students in the labor of Islam.
Yes.
A laborer is a position. It's a job. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So each of us must qualify for the positions that await us.
Yes, sir.
So in order to be a husband, we gotta be qualified.
Gotta qualify.
In order to be a wife, we gotta be qualified. We gotta think about what it is that we're bringing to the table before we even apply for the position.
That's what I'm talking about.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We gotta think about it, man. We gotta think, what am I bringing to the table? Do I have a job? Do I have a gig? Do I have an apartment? Do I have a car? All this sort of stuff we got to think about in order to apply for the position. Because the position is, according to the supreme wisdom, it's awaiting you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But in the awaiting, you have to qualify yourself
Yes,
in order
sir.
to be in that position.
Go ahead.
Right.
Same thing with the sisters. I'm not letting y'all off the hook.
That's right.
We all good. We good. We qualified ourselves. That's why we sing.
What is it? How do you qualify yourself, right?
Yes,
What
sir.
are you bringing to
That's
the
right.
table?
Exactly.
What we had a really good podcast this past week.
Come on with it.
And we were talking about marriage. We were on the same thing because, of course, celebrating the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Mother Khadijah
70 years.
being married for 70 years. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. And we were asking the question, like, is marriage an outdated concept?
No, sir.
No, sir.
And it's not, of course, to us, we know, in this room, we know that marriage, man, you can't have family without marriage, right? But these young people who have not, I always say, I always end the show that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
So, young people who have not grasped religious or spiritual principles, they're not standing on the foundation that we're standing on.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? If you believe in Allah, of course, I gotta get married. You know what I'm saying? That's half of my faith, half of my religion. But what if you don't have no religion?
Go ahead.
About that part.
Right?
Yep.
So these young people, they on some, especially these young men, they on some man, there's 7 women that every one of us, I ain't gotta get married. I just keep dipping and, you know what I'm saying, sampling or whatever they call it now, jumping in their DMs.
Go ahead.
Trying to pull out what I can pull out. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it. That's how they talk though.
That's the
And
consequences.
so they don't believe in marriage.
That's okay.
They don't believe in polygamy either.
Polygamy is marriage.
Exactly. They don't believe in polygamy or polygyny. Because that would require that you have to take care of multiple women as well. So we don't even want to talk about that. Because if you can't take care of one, you damn sure can't take care of 2.
That's
Talk
right.
about that part.
That's right.
Equally, equitably.
So that part shouldn't even come into the conversation as far as we concerned.
Right.
So, but they've come to the conclusion that they don't need to get married. And these young girls, what they've learned in this current society is that if they could go to Florida and get these pumped up and get that pumped up and put them eyelashes on as long as it look like spiders hanging out their eyeball.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love it. I love it.
Then they can get on IG, right? And they can get dudes to follow them, and the dudes go into their DMs. They get money.
They shall do.
They get money. So they looking at dudes not even like they're not valuing the character, the attributes of a man. They're just looking at them as an opportunity to get paid.
That's right.
So you got this dude over here who's just using women because there's more women than men. Then you got this sister over here and she's just using dudes because they like what she got. And nobody's getting married.
Go ahead, brother.
That's real.
Nobody's getting married. So you have to, the solution to that, Islam has a solution for everything.
It sure does.
When you believe in Allah, when you believe in His messenger, you have to believe in the concept of marriage. It comes with the religion.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it solves that in that sense, but we still have the remnants of the world that's hanging on us.
Right, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? We still come in with the attitude, Sister Latios, like, yeah, there are more sisters in the mosque than there are brothers. Maybe I can have two. You know what I'm saying? That they got the polygyny thing jumping off, however, in their mind, however, they're not thinking about the real consequences of that.
Yeah.
Which, of course,
Yeah.
they can't handle
Sure can't.
at all.
Go ahead.
And then, once we do become married, we encounter problems
That's right.
because of the things that come with marriage.
That's right.
And the things that come with marriage, there's naturally going to be difficulty.
It is.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
You can't expect to be married and for it not to be difficult. If you think it's going to be easy, you're just a fool.
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anything worth having is there's going to be a level of difficulty in order to attain it.
Yes, sir.
So if men and women are twin halves of a single being, and that the ultimate aim of marriage is for men and women to become one, but you got two distinct personalities and two distinct natures coming together, of course there's going to be difficulty.
Yeah.
But like the minister has pointed out numerous times, we like to run from the difficulty.
Make it easy.
And so we were having this discussion as to what causes such a high rate of divorce. And you know, there was people who chimed in, it's financial problems and blah blah blah. It could be a number of this, but what it really comes down to,
Come on.
in my opinion, is unrealistic,
Expectations.
uncommunicated
Go ahead.
expectations.
That's
Yes,
real.
right.
Yeah.
Get out.
Go
Yes,
ahead. Go ahead.
absolutely. Unrealistic,
Yeah.
uncommunicated expectations. We come in
Yeah. That's deep.
thinking she's supposed to have bean soup on the table every night.
Right.
Got my bath water running,
No, sir. Where my bad
slippers. We do. Especially if we're making a little bit of money.
Uh-oh.
Especially if we're making a little bit of money.
Yeah.
We have children and we expect that she's going to handle the children.
So don't have it.
Go ahead, brother.
We think that.
Yes, sir.
If it's a young baby, I mean, God forbid, a baby newborn, you the one who got the breast. What I'm going to do? Right?
Yeah.
We expect her to handle all of those things. Likewise, sister, when we get married, we expect him, especially if he expects us to do all that, he gonna pay all the bills. Y'all hear me? He gonna pay all the bills, right? If he expect me to do have his bad water run, bean soup every day with fresh wheat rolls. Fresh wheat rolls. I don't want none of them Hawaiian. What is this called?
You like you better make them from scratch.
From scratch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We need to be kneading some dough up in here, right? Like some yeast rise.
Needed.
nice salad, fresh piece of,
Fish.
yeah, fresh piece of salmon. I want that, what's the one, with the
Wild
thick
caught.
one, the wild caught.
Sockeye. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, the cold one, the one like, you know, if you hit that thing with a fork, it just flake right off.
Yes.
Don't overcook it either.
Yes.
Come on,
I hear you. I hear you.
So she gotta have all that going on. But that's an unrealistic
Yes, it is.
expectation.
Indeed.
Just like in 2023, when the enemy ain't changed.
He ain't changed at all.
He has not changed.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, sister, even though you cooking bean soup and that Kobo salmon and that salad, your gig 9 times out of 10 is paying more than his.
That's right.
That's just real.
Yes, sir.
They give sisters that gig before they give it to that man, especially to that black man.
Yeah.
That's real.
So he making a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying? But man, honestly, financially, you can kind of do it without him.
Like you might want to.
Right. And that could be a problem, right?
Really?
Because in your mind, you like, man, I ain't gotta cook this fish. I really don't.
Come on, brother.
Go ahead.
I really don't.
Tell the truth.
I really could do this without you. But that's real though. That's real. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Especially if he acting like he expects it, right?
Yes.
And there's a difference between expecting something and then showing appreciation for it.
Right. That's one.
See, a sister can do it a whole lot better if you show appreciation.
Yeah.
But if you just expect something, brothers, from her that she don't necessarily have to give, but you show little or no appreciation, oh man. That changed the whole dynamic in the house.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Sad.
Yes, sir.
So we have to, when we get married, when I counsel people about being married, and I believe that I can counsel people about being married because I've been married for 32 years.
Yes, sir.
And it ain't been easy. It's the most difficult thing that I've ever done.
Yes, sir.
Rewarding.
The most difficult and the most rewarding.
Yes.
But the most difficult thing I've ever done. Man, for a while, we fought like Crips and Bloods.
Yeah, oh, it's
You're a great man.
I'm not playing. Like, I can't stand her. She couldn't stand me. I done had 2, maybe 3 apartments during this marriage.
Yeah.
But that's beautiful, you still together.
I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy.
Right.
No.
But
Big time.
any relationship, especially marital relationship, is not gonna be easy. And they're all gonna go through different stages, right? So when you're young, of course, it's romantic. She's so fine, he's so fine, you know, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
But then there comes a point where you have children where it's like, man,
We got more. We need to do more.
he got a game over here, but I gotta work, and she want me to come to the game, and I gotta pay this bill on top of going to the game. I can't go to the game. We gonna pay this bill.
We at the game.
You know what I'm saying? All this sort of stuff happens, right? Who gonna take the children? Who gonna do the blah blah blah? Who yada yada? Who gonna cook? Who gonna clean? All that stuff plays a role because you're trying to work together, right? And And you have to learn your person. This is another thing that people do when it comes to, and we're still talking about handling the nation's business.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Go
As a
ahead.
family.
Another thing that couples do, I'm gonna say sisters more so than brothers, is compare your marriage with someone else's.
Oh, no. Red flag.
Don't ever do that.
That's correct. Yeah.
Ever.
It's like comparing your life.
Right.
There's no two marriages that are the same.
That's right. That's so right.
Especially the way it starts.
No two marriages are the same. Everybody is different.
That's right.
What works for you might not work for me.
That's right.
Yes, sir. That's right.
That man's wife over there, she might cook every single day. But your situation not the same as his
That's
situation.
right.
So you cannot compare your situation to anyone else's. You have to learn your person, right? In order to deal with that person, because it's gonna be tough. That romantic stage starts first. Then, did you come to the Nation of Islam because you thought it was gonna be easy?
Right.
Go
Is
ahead.
that what you
brother.
expected?
That's right. That's right.
That part.
Because as soon as your lieutenant bark at you, you know what I mean? What's gonna happen? You out of here?
Just about.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
But you
brother.
abort the process as to what's gonna be at the end of that thing
Right.
if you out of here.
Yes, sir.
And it's the same thing with marriage. So it's gonna get difficult, but then there's gonna come a time where you don't just see him as your husband. You don't just see her as your wife. You see her, not only your friend, sister, but you're gonna see her as your family.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
All
what
you got.
You'll see him as your family. Man, y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
This is real, and this is something that I really can't explain. You have to actually experience it to really understand. When you look at the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his beautiful wife, don't they look alike?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
brothers and sisters.
Yes,
Think
sir.
about that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Think about that. They look alike.
Yes, sir.
And when you're with someone long enough, you begin to look like that person.
That's right. Yes, sir. That's right.
Remember, it's the marriage is about the two becoming one.
Yes. That's right. Yep.
So you got a bunch of children that look just like you, right?
Queen.
Now you begin to look like each other. Now, she might say something that upsets you, but it's like, okay. He might say something that upsets you, but it's like, okay, again. Right? Certain things you begin to, once you begin to learn your person, there's a lot more you can put up with.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
So things haven't changed. Like me and my wife, you know, the first 15 years, man, same arguments for 15 years. Same argument, man. I can repeat that thing verbatim. Repeat it verbatim. Like, man, we not gonna make it. We
Go
go to
ahead.
counseling. I'm sitting up at the counseling like this
Yeah.
the whole time. You know what I mean? The body language. Her knees is turned away from me. I'm turned away from her. And we sitting up there arguing in front of the counselor. And I'm like, this don't even make no damn sense. I'm sitting there paying white folks to argue in front of. I can do this at home.
You know we always be thinking about that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead and teach, brother.
All praises due to Allah. But that's real. That happens.
Yes.
But then you find a good counselor. Find someone who looks like you.
That's
That's
what I'm
one.
saying, that part.
Find you a black counselor.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's that part.
And you'll find that Oh man, the minister's so wise. You'll find that when you find a good counselor, black counselor preferably,
Yeah.
they're not gonna say much.
They sure ain't.
Any good counselor is
That's
not gonna
right.
say a
Go
whole
ahead.
lot.
Go ahead.
He gonna let you talk.
That's right.
Because you already have the solutions to every problem that you face already in your mind.
That's right. That's right.
But sometimes you just gotta say it.
Right.
That is true, man. Yes, sir.
That's what the minister saw in the whole Dianetics piece.
Yeah, that's right.
Auditing is not about somebody sitting across and giving you some advice.
You figure it out yourself.
Auditing is them just listening to you.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
And then them just guiding the conversation to where you find the solution yourself.
To your own problem. Yep.
So it's the same way with marriage counseling, right? But in truth, you should get counseling for yourself first.
That
Facts.
part.
Facts.
She should get counseling for herself first.
Yes.
And then y'all should come together and get marriage counseling.
That's right.
Like that.
Before marriage,
That's right. Yes, sir.
during marriage,
That's right.
after marriage.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that's real.
Go ahead.
See, we got to get away from that, Brother Mordecai. I mean, I ain't talking to nobody. I ain't paying nobody. Look, man, you need that.
Yes, we need an outlet.
Facts.
True.
You need that. You don't know how to relate to a woman. That's why we have so many problems.
That's
Remember, the white man, that's one of the sciences that he would never teach us, the science of mating.
Mating. That's right. That's
See, if
right.
you knew the science of mating, you wouldn't have a lot of the problems that you have.
That's real. Yes, sir.
In the nation of Islam, one of the first things, of course, that we learn is if we're entering into a relationship with a woman, is ain't no boyfriend, girlfriend stuff around here.
That's right.
It's courtship.
That's
You're
right.
married.
Courtship means that, just like when you went to go see Judge Feinstein, you go to a place, you interview witnesses, you bring evidence, you weigh the evidence, the witness testimony, and then you make a decision. It's the same thing with courtship. You should never give yourself sister to somebody because he look good.
That's true. You're so right.
Go
He
ahead.
handsome because he got a mouthpiece. We all got a mouthpiece when we want what we want.
That's right. Talk that talk.
Talk that talk. I get smooth when I want something.
We know.
And remember that man is always going to show you the best version of himself when he's trying to win you.
That's real.
Every time.
That's real.
But if we go through a courtship process, which means we ask him questions. Your parents married? That's the first question. Think about it. If you want to be married to somebody, you want to know if their parents are married. Why? Because if their parents are married, he's going to know how to be married.
That's right. That's right.
We learn how to husband from the example that we saw. If we never saw an example of a husband, how are we going to ever be one? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, go ahead,
So
brother.
when you ask them, are your parents married? Yeah, they married. How long? That's another question. Because he's just been married for a couple of years. How old is your daddy? Oh, he's 62. He's 62 and he only been married for a couple of years? Oh, he been married before. How many times have he been married before? I think this is like, they say, I think this is like, that's a red flag. I think it's about his fourth wife, I think. See, now that little boy learned how to husband from his daddy.
Yeah, that's right.
He gonna have 4 wives too. Chances are, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
But if he's been married once and he's been married to the same woman for 50 years, oh yeah, that's a good sign. Because during that time, that young man has seen his parents go through whatever married people go through in 50 years. So he's not expecting for it to be easy. But the man who's been married 4 times, his dad been married 4 times, he thinking, man, that's what we do. Soon as she act up, we just get another one.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you how men think.
Go ahead.
So courtship, and it's the same thing, brothers. It's the same thing when you ask her. Is your parents married? Your mama cook? Don't ask her does she cook. Ask her does her mama cook.
Yeah.
Because if her mama been married 3-4 times, same scenario.
Same scenario.
Same scenario. She got disposable husbands.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't mean to go down this road, but all praise.
Go ahead, brother.
So all of these things, fellow laborers, because we all are laborers in this labor of Islam.
Yes, sir.
We have to qualify for the positions that await us.
Yes, sir.
Gotta qualify. The way that we qualify is the same way you qualify for trying to get a job with the devil. If I'm trying to get a job doing a certain thing and it's a professional occupation and it requires certifications, then I gotta go get those certifications if I want to qualify for that position.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
So it's the same thing. Whatever it requires to have a husband, sisters, that's what we gotta do before we think about getting one.
Yes. That's right.
Brothers, the same thing. If we want a wife, we gotta qualify before we think about getting
That's
one.
right.
Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, beloved. Man. Y'all all right?
Yes.
All praises due to Allah. But I wanted to say this, and then I'm gonna end.
Part 2.
With regards to, yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2.
Please do.
Yes, sir.
Because we gotta talk about courtship.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that because that's the business.
Yes.
Look, the subject is the nation's business.
Yes.
The subject is the nation's business. And the nation's business isn't just acquiring property and farmland and mosques and schools. All of that, yes, we gotta have it. But the nation's business is about God's people.
Yes, sir.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's it.
Making us the best people that we can be.
Yes, sir.
The foundational block for a nation is family.
Yes.
And the foundational block for family is good marriage.
Yes. Yes.
If we're not married, you gotta think about being married.
That's right.
You gotta get married.
Gotta get married.
Because we can't help the leader if we're not.
That's right.
Not in the proper way because we're walking around and we handicapped.
That's right.
We have for being. If our example, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been married for 70 years. He's got a beautiful black wife, then what do we look like saying that we follow him and we not married?
Go ahead.
Been in the nation 100 years.
That's right.
Go ahead. Go
That's the
ahead.
problem, ain't it?
Yes, time to cut it. He got to rip out.
But every position that we want to occupy, right? Whether it be husband, whether it be wife, whether it be captain, minister, secretary, lieutenant, whatever it is in the nation, we gotta qualify for that position.
That's
Yes,
true.
sir.
You gotta qualify yourself for that position. Otherwise, watch this part. Someone will position you.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go on. Expand.
Go
Now,
ahead.
position is a noun, but it's also a verb.
Yep.
You can be in a certain position that you put yourself in
Yes, sir.
by qualifying. But if you don't qualify for the position that you wanted, someone might come along and position you in the position that they want.
That's right.
That's what happened during slavery.
Yeah.
We all had a job. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We all had a position, but someone put us in that position.
That's right, sir.
Right.
So we have to qualify ourselves. And if we're in a position and we're falling short, man, we got to get right with it.
That's right.
So if you're already in a marriage, right?
Come
and
on.
here's the thing that you can't do. This is the most important advice that I'm going to give us all in this regard. If you're in a marriage and you're having problems, stop looking at the other person.
Look at yourself.
Self.
Just stop it.
Do the work.
You cannot fix someone else at all. The only one you can fix is you.
That's right.
That's right.
Stop looking at other people. Teddy Pendergrass say, he don't want no 50-50. He don't want no 60-40. No, he said he don't want no 60-40. He don't want no 70-30. He want a 50-50 love. Right? That part.
They don't know 50 nothing.
50-50, man, just mean you giving half.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You gotta give 100, 100. All the time. Even if she's falling short, brother, you give your 100. Even when he's falling short, sister, if you want to stay married to him, if you committed, give your 100.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Now, of course, there are exceptions. You know what I mean? We're not taking no abuse or anything of that nature.
That part.
Get rid of him. Shake him.
Yes.
Anybody want to put their hands on you? Brothers or sisters?
That's right.
Get rid of them.
Got to go.
Quick.
Yes, sir.
That is a no-no. That is a no.
That's
Don't
right.
ever accept that under any circumstances.
Yes, sir.
But if it's just arguing and you know what I'm saying, y'all fussing and fighting over certain things, you give your 100. Because at the end of that, at the end of it, you'll look up, man, you know, it might be 20, 25 years later. And you look across the room and be like, man, I used to couldn't stand that nigga. Like for real. But that's my family. You know what I mean? That's my family.
Yes, sir.
And it be the same way, brother. Like, man, ooh, that sister, man. Ooh, she done took me through some stuff. Man, that's my family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when it's familial like that, brother, oh man. That's what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has. 70 years?
Yes, sir.
70 years.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Older than most of us in here.
Yep.
man.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Right.
Well, with that family, I'm not gonna keep y'all. I can go all
Good
day.
job, brother.
But I want to thank you all, and we'll continue this. We'll put a pin in it, and because I didn't get through half of it.
Yeah, we need
Part
some more,
2. We need
brother.
part 2.
We got to, because we're moving forward, right?
Yes, sir. We are.
And we're handling the nation's business,
Yes, sir.
but we got to tighten up
Yes,
in this
sir.
room. Every position that we occupy. I mean, I got to tighten up as a student minister. I got to be more. Well, I won't tell y'all what I think I do.
Just watching the ball. We're watching the ball.
But y'all, praise be to God. But we all have to work on ourselves, right? But we all have to be better at what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us to do.
Yes, sir.
Because we all have the teachings, every single one of us. But the more we tighten up on self, not looking at what Brother Cap's doing or Brother Mordecai's doing, but looking at what self is doing,
Yes.
the further we're going to get along.
Yes, sir.
Because the same principle that I'm talking about in marriage in terms of working on self will further your marriage.
That's right.
Working on self in the mind is gonna further the mind.
Yes.
Are y'all hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Man, all praise due to Allah. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. That's not
All
bad.
praise to God.
Thanks for watching, you guys. We both love and appreciate you for doing so, but we need for you to take some action and do us 1 or 2 or maybe 3 more favors. And that is, go ahead and smash that like button, share it if you really dig the video, and also subscribe. That way you'll get a bell ding, a notification every time we post something, and it also helps us with regards to the algorithm that your people like to run. So go ahead and do that, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Peace, everybody. It's your brother Herman, Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website astar2.com and click on the Ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.